Hi guys, I'm Reval. Welcome back to this Codeception series. Finally, we are going to start writing our tests. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to use Codeception to generate our test. So I'm just going to get the command from my notepad once again. Okay, and we're going to say vendor bin and then paste it. So vendor bin codecep, G for generate. So we're going to generate a test. It's going to be a unit test, and that means it's going to go into the unit test suite folder, and we're going to create a folder called article, and the test is going to be save. Hit enter. Great, so our test has been created. If we look over here, we have article and we have save test.php. Note that it's already appended test to the end of the name, so you don't have to do that when you are generating the test. So let's open up this file and let's make it a bit larger here. So okay, cool. So we have class save test, and it extends the Codeception test unit, and that means you do have access to all the unit tester actor methods. So you can see you can access it through the protected variable tester. Cool. So we have our test down here, and let's do this. Okay, so I already have the test here, so I'm just going to copy it because I know these videos have been going on for a while, and we're going to paste it down here. So let's go through it. Okay, the other thing I just got to copy over is these things. And we're just going to put it up here. So our classes, we're going to make sure we use them. So we have the model, which we don't need it. We're going to use carbon, and we use faker as well. So let's take a look at the first line here. So we have faker to just create some dummy data that we're going to put into our database. And to be honest, we can put this in the before. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes if you have multiple tests within one file, then you can put it in the before. It doesn't really matter for now, so I'm just going to keep it here. We're going to use, of course, faker, like I mentioned, to have some dummy data. If you remember, we have a title field, a content field, and of course we have the updated and created app. So then once we have our dummy data here, I'm going to use this tester have record. So like we said, the tester variable, we actually have access to the actor unit tester, and we're going to use a method called have record. We should be able to click through to this, and I hope you can see it. One good thing is, they have really good documented functions, so we can just read the doc block here. So a method is generated, documentation, etc., etc. So it says inserts record into the database, and that's what we want to do. So if you pass the name of a database table as the first argument, this method returns an integer ID, so you can get the ID, and you can also pass the class name of an eloquent model. In that case, this method returns an eloquent model instead. There's an example of how you can use it here. So let's go back to our test. So we are going to pass app article because that is, of course, the model of the table. And then we're going to have title. So just take our data from there and insert it into the DB. Remember, this is going into the test database that we set up. Then we're going to use another method from the tester unit tester actor class, and it's called cRecord. So we are going to go to the articles table, and we're going to see if this specific record exists. And of course, we've just inserted it here, so it should be all good. Okay, cool. So let's run this test. So to do that, we do vendor bin codecep, and then we're going to write run, and then we're going to do tests unit. Now, if we did this and run it, what will happen is that it'll run all the tests within the unit folder. You can be more specific by going to all the tests within the article folder. You can be even more specific and do all the tests within the save test file. And we can be even more specific by just running one of the tests within the test file by typing it like that. So when I say typing it, just to be clear, we'll be typing the name of the test. But we only have one test within this file, so let's run this. And we got an error. So let's scroll up and we'll see what that error is, and it says mass assignment exception. So I know what this is. I hope you do. If you've been following along, let's think back and look at our model. We'll go app, article, and we're actually not defining what are the fillable fields here. So I have this here. So we just go app, article, and grab this. Okay, you can see our table is actually going to be articles table, and the fillable fields are going to be title and content. I won't go into more detail on this. This is actually something more Laravel related, and that can be discussed in another video. But anyway, back to our test. We'll close that, just clear that, and run our test again. Great, so we have one test, and that works out well. You can see it says 0 assertions, which may throw you, but if our test ran, it says C record, and it says OK at the bottom, that means it actually has seen the record. So to prove that, we can just take away title and type in test here. And if we had to run the test again, it'll come up with a failure because the C record is actually throwing the error. So it could not find the matching record in table articles. Okay, so that's how you can do a very basic unit test. I hope that clears up how to write a basic unit test with Laravel and Codeception, and I hope that you've really learned a lot in this series. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, please like and subscribe below.